All right, MMA Maniacs, it's time once again for your weekly MMA podcast called Split Decision. Brought to you from the Ruloff Family Inc. Studios. Bueller, Dodge, and Dennis here to break you off some mixed martial arts knowledge. Thank you for tuning in. Happy Thanksgiving. If you celebrated yesterday and were able to gobble down a bunch of good food, then good for you.
That's what we've been talking about, no matter what you say.
We're going to be there soon enough.
Yeah, just gobble it down.
Are we going to connect those two stories? Gobble down.
Yeah, we're going to have to.
Johnny Hendricks.
Yeah.
Gobbling down just tons of it. Just shoveling that mashed potatoes down your mouth. So if you celebrate Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving to you. I'm going to go ahead and jump into our leadoff story right here from mymmanews.com. Daniel Cormier.
Daniel Cormier is out of UFC 206. UFC 206 is becoming a shit show of a card.
Yeah, it's toast.
I know it's used a lot, but I'm not surprised, motherfucker.
Surprise, motherfuckers.
I'm pretty sure we talked about this 2 weeks ago.
There was rumors that he was injured. We haven't seen anything concrete up until now. He is out of his fight with Rumble Johnson. Well, we don't know if...
So they're not replacing him? They're not replacing somebody against Rumble?
Not that I've seen yet.
Okay.
But either way, it's still not a title shot.
Right. Well, it was.
It was.
Not for Rumble, yeah.
So he probably wouldn't want to replace it then. If he's already at the title shot, like, at the precipice right there, then why replace it with somebody less than a belt?
So we don't really have anything at main event now.
Just a fight, though, because Rumble's a company guy.
Because co-main event was supposed to be Tim Kennedy versus Rashad Evans. That was supposed to happen at 205. Yep. Remember, New York took Rashad Evans out of that fight because of an irregularity on his MRI and said he was unable to fight. Even though UFC doctors have cleared him, his own doctors have cleared him, other states have cleared him.
But now the domino effect.
New York said no. Now the domino effect is they put him in on UFC 206 in Toronto, and now Toronto is upholding...
Is it Toronto or
Ontario? No, yeah.
Oh, same thing.
Toronto, Ontario, Canada.
I don't know. America's hat, I have no idea. I don't know where
I like to refer to it as America's attic because you go up there and you're like, hey, look at all this cool shit I totally forgot we had.
Including Toronto and Ontario.
Anyway, but you also find a lot of dead shit up there, too. Just random.
Oh, yeah. Like the whole tundra.
Anyway, they are upholding New York's decision to not allow him to fight due to this MRI.
Could have said something like a month ago when they moved him to 206.
Yeah.
But no, alas.
So no more Tim Kennedy, Rashad Evans. Allegedly, there might be a fight. Somebody might step in for Rashad Evans to fight Tim Kennedy. Again, I haven't seen anything yet. So right now, we have no main event, no co-main event. We still get to see Max Holloway versus Anthony Pettis.
And Donald Cerrone versus Matt Brown.
Cub Swanson's on this card. John McDessie's on this card. Mitch Gannigan. There's still a lot of good fighters on this card. Just no main event, no co-main event, no title fights.
I'm surprised they didn't scrap it.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
So for those of you that are going to still buy UFC 206, we commend you, and the fighters on the card commend you.
Yeah, hopefully you go for something. I mean,
of course, that means that they don't have to pay out any pay-per-view buys percentage to anybody because nobody on that card would have that stake in their contract.
I guess
because their main and co-main is out.
I don't know, man. It's kind of a weird thing. Again, Rashad Evans is saying, like, I'm 100% healthy. I'm ready to go. This is a bunch of...
Can we just start making up shit as to what he has? Or would that be a bad idea?
Allegedly.
I'm going to say he has bone shards.
In his brain?
On his hip.
What?
I don't know. What is it, a brain thing?
I'm pretty sure it's a brain thing. Because I'm pretty sure he said this has even happened to people who are not in combative sports.
They get bone shards on their hip. It's like bone spurs. It's a weird thing. Happens when you run a lot.
Tim Kennedy released this thing. I'm not fighting Rashad Evans. My opponent is to be determined. I'm still moving forward. Longest fight camp in history.
Wow.
It's now 2 cards he's still training for.
By the time he gets to fight, he's going to have to deploy.
He should be fit.
He should be, yeah.
He should be ready for this.
You want to go with UFC 205? We talked about that, obviously, with Kevin Costello missing weights, everything.
There's just the UFC, the New York State Athletic Commission is just dishing out suspensions left and right.
Suspensions left and right. They are giving him a 6-month suspension for skipping the weigh-ins.
Yep. Didn't even come down, didn't bother to show up at the weigh-ins at all, so he gets 6 months for that from the New York State Athletic Commission.
And they also are giving Yoel Romero a 60-day suspension for jumping out of the cage.
Not for goose stepping.
No, I think that's exactly what I think it's about. I think it's about the goose stepping, the whole the salute. telling Bisping hello him.
Calling him boy.
One of the most awkward celebrations I've ever seen in my life. I felt uncomfortable in my chair watching it.
I feel real uncomfortable watching Brendan Schaub giggle like a bitch. Watching Joe Rogan redo it. That's what I felt awkward like. And I don't give a shit, Brendan Schaub. I've seen you, bro. I believe I could take you.
I'd watch that.
I'd be just... Dude, he giggles like a bitch.
He'd be too tired to get up.
I mean, do you think it's a little much, though? You get suspended for getting out of the cage?
Of course it is.
To celebrate?
I'm telling you, when they finally pass this through the New York Assembly, the opposition is just going to make it as difficult as possible to have mixed martial arts bouts there. And we've already seen it with boxing. All of a sudden, there's changes this year that has to do with their concussion insurance and stuff like that. And that's a blanket in all combative sports.
They're establishing themselves as the no-nonsense regulator.
Yeah, that's exactly
MMA.
it, man. It's exactly it.
No nonsense.
Make it you're gonna get like one event there a year, I think, is what's gonna happen.
Man, some crazy stuff with that. They said apparently they're within their legal right to do so.
Yeah, no, they totally are.
They have legal rights for when they have overweight boxers. They have, first violation is terms of contract, 90 days suspension. Mm-hmm. Second one is 180 days, 270 days for the third. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, like you said, no nonsense. They just want to make it difficult because of the people who didn't want it to actually pass in New York. So why not make it as hard as possible? Like, we're going to let you do it, but we're going to make our standards so ridiculously difficult on you. It's going to be more difficult for you to hold events here.
Yeah, like clearing medical was expensive.
Yep.
Making these fighters put up $10,000 just to be there.
Yeah, just to fight there. It's ridiculous.
We have Conor McGregor.
You let me down, New York.
You know what really let me down? The culinary union. Do we even see anything from them?
They weren't even outside protesting.
They're done because Fertitas don't own the company anymore.
You think it was just about the Fertitas?
Yes,
It is just about the
100%.
They're back to protesting the casinos, and that's it.
Yeah,
Oh.
100%.
That's right. It's a good point. Why should they care?
They don't care anymore. They do not care at all. They're going back after them in their casino.
They're going to die in that fight.
Conor McGregor says he does not want to fight until May, which is going to be the birth of his first child. And he does also does not want to fight until he's been given company equity. He says, I have built this company now, is what he's saying, that I deserve. He says, there's other celebrities that have, parts in it. Conan O'Brien is an owner. I should be an owner too, since I'm the one.
Then you got to go buy into WMGME or whatever it is.
Making us, which allegedly, some documents that I've seen floating around online, they may start offering public stock in the UFC.
That's cool.
You told me that would never happen.
Just like as long as Fertitas owned it.
I'll buy into it.
Just like WWE did a few years back. Mark Wahlberg says, "Hey, guess what? If you want a piece of it, I'll give you a piece of mine."
All right.
At 7% interest.
Does that mean that Wahlberg and Conor are going to fight? Because I'll watch that too.
No, Wahlberg's just willing to give him.
Hey,
Have
Conor,
you seen his movies? He'll
say hi
shoot
to your
him.
mother for me.
Yeah. You bastard.
Conor, how you been? You good?
You douchebag.
Say
Say
hello
hi
to your
to
mother.
your mother for me. Hey, goat. How you doing, goat? You good? Say hi to your mother for me. So Conor built this city on rock and roll, and he wants a piece of it.
He wants a piece of it. Tito Ortiz says it's not going to happen. If they're not giving me a piece, they're not going to give you a piece.
Dude, there's a
He
lot
says,
of people not
I've
giving
helped
Tito
build
a
this.
piece.
He's like,
Right.
he's a hustler like me, who there's a lot of opportunities because of me. But if they're not going to give you that, or they're not going to give it to me, they're not going to give it to you.
I don't think Tito understands that there's a whole new company in charge of this thing right now.
I think Tito's just set.
Like I said, he's got forethoughts rattling around that big ass head of his.
Did you see him on his Instagram? Like wishing Chael Sonnen a happy Thanksgiving. He had like a syringe of butter or something like that.
as
It was
he's-
like, don't juice.
Don't you? Hey, I call this turkey sonin.
Turkey son.
Let's inject him.
Let's baste it.
The first event out going to be January 15th. In the UFC, is going to be Yair Rodriguez going up against BJ Penn. BJ Penn actually going to get a chance to fight now.
I don't know. What are the odds
That he gets stuck?
that the fight happens?
I don't know.
Oh, he said this twice, and it's happened twice.
Yeah. BJ Penn.
He don't really want to come back. He just wants to keep his name in there.
Yeah.
And as long as he has one fight left on his contract, right? They can keep
He
doing
can
this.
keep doing this all he wants. He could Ross Perot the UFC
Well, I
for
mean,
the
the
rest of his
first
life.
time when he got busted for using an IV,
No, I mean
He
that
didn't really
sucks.
get busted. He just openly
he
admitted,
admitted,
it.
"Hey, I was using an IV," and they're like, "You can't do that anymore."
Oh, darn. I guess you can't fight then.
Hey, well, I was reading on this list. You can't do that. Well, I did that.
I did that. Yeah.
Not only that, but okay, let's take it back. The first time
Have you
he
guys
was,
banned
under-
naproxen yet?
Under
No?
investigation for his criminal allegations, which were dropped, by the way.
Good.
So now we got this.
I don't know. We'll see what happens come January, 15th?
15th.
Yeah.
BJ Penn might be coming back to the UFC.
I'd love to see him fight. Like you always said, there's nothing like a motivated BJ, but I'm not sure how motivated he is after how long he's been off. We'll see. If he comes down to the cage with that fire in his eye, then we know we're in for a good show, you know.
Cowboy Cerrone spent the weekend trolling a bunch of people on the internet.
Good times, Cowboy.
Put up this video on his Instagram of his mangled eye, which is actually for his Netflix series Godless that he is taking part in. Everyone freaked out. And he's like, don't worry, I'm still good. I'm ready to fight.
Ready to fight.
I'm still going to fight in Toronto. It's not a big deal. Doctor said I'm good.
He's got stage makeup covering his eye almost completely.
Yeah, it looks like he's missing an eye.
Basically, yeah.
But it was pretty. I thought it was pretty good.
Just having fun with the people. Can't wait to see your acting chops, Cerrone. Sure you're going to kill it.
Leslie Smith has decided to drop her management company after finding out that they were invested in the Dakota Access Pipeline.
I'm just going to tell you right now.
Ultimate mode of
I'm
protest.
just telling you, a lot of people should not check their portfolios because this is a sad state of affairs, but you're probably invested.
How do you feel? Way to protest? Like,
Whatever.
drop management.
I'm going to tell you from my angle, I really don't even know what's going on. I see one person's angle. I see the other person's angle. I have yet to fly out and check it out.
I'll tell you this. I guarantee you that she's doing what do they call the virtue signaling and the popular protesting and just like falling in line with what's cool to protest right now. And that's one of those things that's cool to protest. Because I'm almost guaranteed that if she actually did her complete research on it, she'd probably been like, oh, I don't know which way to go on this. You know what I mean?
Right. That's where I'm at.
Yeah. But it's a popular protest thing. It's fun.
It's fun.
It's fun to protest it. Yeah. It's a great time. That's how you show that you're fucking with the cool kids, man.
You protest.
You protest.
And put a safety pin on you.
And put a safety pin on you.
I don't understand that.
The diaper pin.
And then you go.
Yeah, I know what it is, but I don't understand why.
And then you go and smash your
For
windows.
safety?
Yes, for safety. It's a safety pin for safety.
I don't get it.
That means that I will
Keeps the diaper attached.
I will cuddle you if you need to be cuddled. And also go smash the windows in your own
ABC.
car and then blame
Always
somebody
be
else.
cuddling.
Make sure you do that.
Joanna Jedrzejzyk, our 215-pound champion, has decided she wants to hold 2 belts in the UFC. She is calling for the 225-pound women's division, which
Here goes the floodgate.
we've had at least 2 bouts in. So she says the 125-pound
I
division.
think we all know what you meant.
Yeah, 125-pound
It's
division
no death by snoo fucking.
is going
Weight
to be
division.
happening. She believes that she will be able to be competitive at both weights. She
Cool.
says there's girls that can go up in weight, obviously from 125 to 135. If they're a little bit larger, there's girls that can go down to 115. They're a little bit smaller, but 125 would be a great middle ground, and she believes she can hold belts
Like a good interchangeable weight class.
in both classes. How do you feel?
Do
Do we need more women's divisions? How about that?
we need more women's divisions? We've talked about this plenty of times, and we didn't know if there was going to be enough women to have 135 and then 115, which we're doing fine with now. So yeah, go ahead, make it happen.
I mean, I don't know if we need a 105 or a 145. A 125 is a nice in between.
Now that we said it out loud, I want a fucking snoo bracket. I'm all about that, dude.
Awesome Kongs and come over from TNA
yeah.
and be the champion.
Fine with me. I want to be the intergender champion of the snoo bracket. Go all fucking Andy Coffin on this shit.
That's scary.
Me and Gabby Garcia. What's up, girl? How you doing?
Oh, we've moved on.
I mean,
You about to get kicked off to somebody else's Instagram?
Gabby Garcia would murder me. It wouldn't even be fun.
Someone
If
having
you do get any pictures of it, I want to see it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
someone that is having trouble with his social media sites is Johnny Hendricks.
Yes.
Johnny Hendricks has been using his Twitter page apparently to like some things.
What you got to do here is just own it, man. Like really just own it.
Fans of Johnny Hendricks quickly found on his Twitter, if you go to his, like, you can go to, who he's following, who's likes him, all stuff, what things that he's liked recently. Apparently things that he's liked recently, besides Oklahoma State wrestling, steaks,
Vanilla pudding?
and hunting, is anal cream pies.
Yeah. Anal cum shots.
Anal cum shots. He's got following that on Twitter. And a bunch of
I got to go see what the fuck I've liked on my Twitter. That kind of worries me.
I was actually waiting for that to happen today. Be like, Joey's like, wait, there's a like section?
It's like, I do not hardly ever use my Twitter, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, just get rid of the whole account.
Just cancel my account today. Why? I don't know what I
I don't
liked.
know. Death by Snooze liked. 100%. So next time you see Johnny Hendricks, make sure you bring him a copy of Butt Sluts 23 to get his autograph on it.
Yeah, I think it'd be great.
We could get a hold of Freak Flag. Send them Freak Flag.
Send
Get him a
free
shirt.
flag stuff,
They
for
need
sure.
to sponsor him.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? I'm glad that you found something you're really into specifically. Take that and fucking run with it, buddy. Takes a long time for people to figure out like what their fetish is. You like anal cum shots, man. Rock and roll, dude.
Yeah, it's kind of cheeky, don't you think?
It's got a little cheeky, yeah.
Sometimes.
Call it a
Sometimes
chocolate
little
cream
cheap.
pie, you know? Knock yourself out.
And then we have a whole bunch of news relating to the events that happened this
It
weekend.
really is oddly specific, though. When you think about it.
Do you want to call it the sloppy starfish?
It's the sloppy starfish. This is why you don't want people to see your browser history, because you don't want to see how oddly specific somebody else is.
The weeping eye.
Yeah, the weeping. Oh, it's a wanker.
It's a wanker.
Ah, you've seen that one. Oh, dear God. All right, moving on now.
Invicta 20 happened, what was that, Friday?
Yes,
It
yes,
was
it did.
Friday, right? That was the start of our MMA Thanksgiving Gorge Fest.
Yeah.
I found people online saying that their hard limit is 3 events in one day.
Yeah, this is
do
for
any
the
more than
definitely the hardcore MMA fans. If you were able to survive all the events and watch them all,
Yeah.
I know Eric was posting from Miami News like, "Oh, do we switch from Ultimate Fighter or the Ultimate Fight Night?"
No,
or do we
Eric,
watch
you go to a
Bellator?"
bar. You go somewhere where you can watch it all.
That's right. I had it on both screens.
Yeah.
There you go.
Go to a bar. Leave your domain. Get out of your
And
cave.
I had college
But
football.
then he has RedTube up while he's watching everything else. Too.
yeah,
Did you see that?
See,
I saw that, yeah.
he's just like Johnny Hendricks.
Yeah.
He forgets.
He was also watching anal cum sluts.
I thought that'd be hilarious. That's something that I've actually worried about. Like it. I'm not calling anybody. And I know somebody at this table too was like, I had a problem with my laptop, but is there anything I can do myself?
Because I'm not giving it to anybody
I,
else.
I can't.
Somebody at this table, me.
So they just burn.
Yeah. It's fixable. I'm not giving it to fucking anybody. So unless I'm going to go to ITT Tech for the next 9 months, that fucing computer is never working again.
Can't. They're bankrupt.
Yeah, well then,
There you go.
sorry, computer, you're fucked. You're a paperweight.
Computer's gone.
So you want to scroll through the event real quick?
Yeah, I mean, the big story. We can talk about Angela Hill retains her championship
Retains her
over
championship.
Colleen Medeiros. And then we got Herika Taburko got a win over Simona Sokopova,
Yep.
which was a decision. You had an armbar with Ashley Yoder over Amber Brown. And then, but your big fight here.
Big fight, your main event.
Your champion, Tanya Evinger, lost her belt to Yana. Can you help me with that one? Kusikaya?
Yeah, Kutskaya.
Controversial, though.
Very controversial. This was 159 of the first round armbar. If you want to watch, I'll throw up the video here for you guys. Basically, what happened is she was in an armbar. Kutskaya was on the ground, pulling down. Tanya Evinger stepped on her face to release the hold, which is 100% legal under the
As
unified
long as
rules.
you're not striking.
As long as you're not striking. It wasn't a heel strike. Like, she wasn't stomping. It wasn't a foot stomp, like a stomp to the face. Wasn't a kick. It was a push down for leverage, which is 100% legal under the unified rules of mixed martial arts. The referee, however, not clear of that rule, went over and told her immediately, that is illegal. You need to stop. You have to adjust. The minute she put her foot down on the mat and started to adjust, her opponent immediately sunk it in even deeper, and she had to tap within seconds. She is calling for an appeal. She said she didn't do anything wrong, that she was on her way of getting out of the armbar, obviously, because she was putting pressure on the face. The girl was going to have to release, all these different things. But when she went to adjust, I mean, she's like, the girl, I would have adjusted too, but I want to appeal this. There's no way I should have lost this fight.
I just can't imagine. Okay, now let's say like Stipe. Stipe's got somebody down on the ground and standing full body pressure on someone's skull.
Yep.
That's legal?
Yep. As long as you're not stomping.
Don't be on the ground.
Yeah. Defend it. Earn it.
Earn it.
Yeah, don't be on the ground. That's a bad idea.
Yeah, because I mean, on the flip side, you got Johnson on your head. That's not a big,
Mighty
You got
Mouse.
Mark
Yeah.
Hunt on your head.
Well, yeah.
Don't be on the ground.
Don't be on the ground. Defend it. Earn it.
Look, let me tell you something. If you're on the ground and Mark Hunt's standing, you definitely did something wrong.
Yeah, I'm interested to see where this goes. Maybe she'll get the appeal. Maybe she'll get... I don't know if they're going to overturn it to a no contest or if she's just going to get a
That's
rematch.
the best she can ask for, really, is a no contest.
no
at this
contest,
point.
yeah.
Because even if she gets a rematch, she's still going to have that loss on her record.
Yeah, she said, I mean, specifically, she says, look, understand that there's rules relating to the contest. She's also, you're supposed to give an official warning, about the attack, not like, oh, you have to move now. It's like, hey, you're not allowed to do that. Is that the warning? Like,
Would have been awesome. Should have been like, Article 9, Chapter 4, go look it up, bitch. I'm not moving my foot.
I'm not fucking moving. I'm not fucking moving. Go look it up right now. I'll stand right here on this bitch's head. What are you going to do about it?
Time. I'm going to stay on her head, though.
I'm standing right here on her head. We had our Bellator event. Again,
And then Johnny Hendricks gets a new fetish.
Johnny Hendricks just got a new fetish.
Yeah. Standing on people's heads.
Why don't we go over Belfast first, since that happened next, technically, right? Mm-hmm. Belfast happened next.
Which was Musashi versus Hall 2.
Yep.
Just jumping to the main event here. Artem Labov up against Teruto Ishikawa. Ishikawa's legs were trashed the next day.
Man. He became his own bitch.
Yeah. Unfortunately for him. I mean, he had a great time talking trash, but he lost the fight to Labov. And then Alexander Volkov up against Timothy Johnson with a split decision here.
Yep.
With Alexander walking away with that win. Stevie Ray also got a split decision over Ross Pearson.
How many decisions has Ross Pearson been in?
Too many. And the question is he done now?
No.
No?
Let him, if he's getting decisions, he's not actually losing.
Let him keep brawling. Your main event, Gegard Mousasi gets his revenge over Uriah Hall with a TKO of the very first round at 4 minutes and 37 seconds. Good for him.
Good for him.
And then jumping into...
This happened both at the same time. We had our event going on, UFC 100, UFC Ultimate Fight Night 100 in Brazil. Bellator was at 165, I believe it was. Yeah, 165, Chandler versus Henderson going down on Spike. I was lucky enough to be somewhere I could watch them both at the same time.
Because of time zones, did 99 actually happen after 100?
No.
No.
It happened in the future.
I don't know how time zones work, so...
It happened in the future.
No, it was basically morning to afternoon was 99, and then afternoon to evening was...
Yeah.
All right.
Well, let's do Bellator.
All right, so your Bellator 165 that evening, jumping onto your main event here. Linton Vassell gets a decision over Francis Carmont.
Come on.
And then you had Kerry Ann Melendez with a KO win over Sheila Padilla.
47 seconds.
That's just a Superman punch into hell.
It was nice.
Yeah,
I believe it was a left hook.
Shouldn't even have showed up.
Melendez, which is Gil Melendez's wife.
Is it really?
Yep.
Yeah.
I thought we were just kidding when we said that last
Nope.
week. All right, good job, Gilbert.
Careful, your wife kick your ass. And I think the last time we talked to him, he said something about that.
About his wife kicking his ass?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job, Giblert. Adam Piccolotti went up against Brandon Gertz, got the decision over him. Michael Page, who was fucking around way too much, still got a split decision
Seriously.
win over Fernando Gonzalez.
Fucking around way too much, thinking he's
I think
Anderson
he lost
Silva
that
in
fight.
his prime. He was just like doing the swinging around punch. He's
He
just
lost
kind of
that
hanging
fight.
out and dancing punch. Like
How did he win it if he lost it?
literally was just dancing around.
That was jacked. I mean, how did Bisping beat Anderson
No, but I'm
Silva?
saying, like,
I mean,
was he
it's-
still, when he was not dancing, was he still connecting enough to...
He was connecting, but I felt like obviously Gonzalez connected more
and
because he
chased
was
him around.
and because he was there for the fight.
Yeah.
Whereas
And controlled
Cage
him
was
up.
like, I'm just gonna dance. Oh,
Yeah.
you missed me. I'm gonna smack you.
Yeah, and every time they were up
Oh,
against the
I do this.
cage, and when they were up against the
Yeah,
cage,
smack you. I mean,
he controlled him.
He's doing this.
Doing the showboat stuff, man.
Smack you.
He's,
Like,
he's trying to get the fans.
Yeah.
Trying to get them riled up.
but it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was really frustrating to watch. I'm like, bro,
just-
you're not that good yet. Yes,
That's
he's
just
sometimes
ridiculous.
missing you.
It's the same. It shouldn't be allowed. It's ridiculous.
I want to see him
Stop
actually
doing
fight.
this stuff now. You need to step up. You get in the cage. It's serious business. You need to fight. Michael Chandler up against Benson Henderson. Stays your champion. Bendo is done, cakes.
You think so?
Dude, he went to a lower organization so he could dominate it, and he's not winning.
Well, plus there's talk
Godzilla,
about
man.
there's talk about him trying to get in the military before he misses the age too.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
He thought he won.
I think I still have time.
Bendo thought he won.
I think I still have time.
Of course he thought he won. When it's a split decision, you never like, oh, yeah, I probably lost that one.
Also announced at this event, something we had talked about that might have been happening in Ryzen is actually going to be happening in Bellator.
Yeah. Fedor versus Meathead Mitrione.
February 18th in San Jose. We definitely got to try to be there, guys.
Yeah.
Fedor brought back the sweater of
The
glory.
infamous sweater.
Sweater of glory. I don't know. What do you think?
I'm excited for it. Like I said, I think it'd be awesome to watch these two beat each other up and ultimately watch Meathead get knocked out by Fedor. It'd be great.
You think that's going to happen?
I think it could. I think it's going to be one of those walk-off knockouts where Fedor doesn't really know what he just did.
Does he ever?
No, he just kind of throws a hand and goes, oh, we're done. I'm going to go get some meatloaf. it's like, I forget what the end of the movie is, where like it ends and it's like, oh, it's over.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to leave now.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Also at this event, at the Bellator event, George St. Pierre hanging out with Rory McDonald. Obviously, Rory McDonald is signed with Bellator. Jedrzejzyk Pierre maybe signed with Bellator.
Hey, Rory, coming over here to stop you from winning the belt too.
Do you think George St. Pierre was like, let me go find ugly sweater too?
His is actually a nice sweater.
It's got like a nice V-neck to it, man.
I mean, I feel like Fedor's is a typical Russian sweater.
Well, yeah, because it's 2 to 3 decades old.
But he got that brand new.
Yeah.
If those lines were squiggly, that's a Charlie Brown shirt.
Oh, totally.
Love it.
Ultimate Fight Night 100. Coming to you from Brazil.
Sergio Morales gets a split decision win over Zach Otto. Then you had Kamaru Usman up against Warley Alves, who gets a decision win. Immediately called out, I forget who he called out, but somebody in the top 10 who said, I really enjoy watching you as a fighter. I'd like to see you grow and actually make it in the top 10. It was a nice, classy way of saying, you're not even on my level, bro. So we'll see what happens with Kamaru Usman after that.
I want to throw this down real quick. Down on the prelim card, we did have Manvel Ganbarian lose TKO 46 seconds in the second round to Johnny Eduardo. Manvel Ganbarian says this might be his career. I think this is it for me. I'm probably going to call it a career.
Oh, well.
He retires a record of 25-9 with 1 no contest. Fought in 4 different weight divisions: bantamweight, featherweight, lightweight, and welterweight.
That's a record to be proud of.
Yeah. Lost back-to-back fights, though, via TKO.
Came in Carl Parisian's cousin, made his own legacy out of it.
It might be time. But yeah, good for him.
I mean, that's somebody whose career we watched actually start with The Ultimate Fighter and move on to wherever he's at now, which is cool.
I agree.
When he came in, he was like, oh, it's Carl Parisian's cousin. And then Carl Parisian disappeared. And then he made his own story, so good for him. And then moving on from that fight, we had Christoph Jotko up against Thales Laetis with the decision win going in favor of Christoph. Claudia Gadea up against Courtney Casey. Claudia Gadea walks away with that victory as well.
Now, check out that fight. That was the fight where Claudia Gadea possibly landed a soccer kick to the face to a down opponent. Possibly.
No, there was no possibility about it. If you've seen any video this week...
They stopped the fights where Casey basically held her face on the ground for quite some time, slowly got up, talked to the referee, talked to the athletic commission, said she was clear to continued, ended up losing by decision. When the referee was questioned, when they asked the referee about the decision, why he did not give her any warnings or anything, the judges and the referee flat out said, we believe that she faked the injury.
Well, the shin looked like it was glancing off the top of her head.
Of the forehead, but it looked like a lot of ponytail to me.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying.
My personal opinion.
There's no way it was a soccer kick to the face. Like, it looked like it's skinned.
Yeah, and she says if...
It was a soccer kick and a soccer response.
She says
she flopped.
She says it's not fair. She goes, if I wanted to get out of this fight that way, why would I get back up and say I'm ready to fight?
Brownie points.
You just got out of the school of LeBron.
Because now you didn't quit the fight, you finished the fight, and you have an excuse for the fight.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying I'm not your head. I don't know what you felt.
She says she hit me in the forehead and then
Thank
hit my
God
bun.
for yourself for that.
She apologized to me multiple times. That's all I personally need. All the fans that think otherwise, I'm disappointed in. Gadea says, I don't think the kick landed. She pretended like she was going to get up and then sat back down. She goes, that's why I said I was sorry.
I don't know. I watched it from 2 different angles at several different speeds, and I just wasn't convinced.
I wasn't convinced either. I think she's been trained.
You did the total porn tutorial on it, huh?
Yeah.
He's on every angle.
Yeah.
Different speeds.
I put on the VR headset. I was like looking up.
I think she's been training with Josh Koscheck a little bit on that injury.
Oh.
Oh, it hit me in the eye, but it was your left eye. That's right, it hit me in the eye.
Wasn't that proven to have happened, though?
He did get hit, just not in the eye that he grabbed.
That can happen in your brain.
Just crosses?
That's what it was.
That's what happened.
His wires crossed.
Anyway, moving on. Thomas
blinker went on.
Alameda over Albert Morales, TKO, 137 in the second round.
Yeah, good for him. Good for that one. And then Ryan Bader gets his win over Antonio Rodrigo Nogueira as well with a third round TKO.
I felt like Bader was little brothering Little Nog.
Which is weird.
Like, get on top of him, just pound it on him for like an entire round. I had people in the restaurant that I work at that would be like, why is he fighting a guy who's 60? I'm like, he's like 38 or 40.
Yeah.
They're like, no. I was like, he's been looking like that for about 20 years too.
Yeah. But does it look bad on Bader that it actually went to the third round?
No, I think it looked dominant in my opinion. I didn't think I never thought, man, Bader, why are you not putting him away? I was like, man, you're just embarrassing him. That's how I felt. Like he wanted to look dominant.
So now what happens with Bader, do you think?
Top 10 fighter. I don't know.
Because, I mean, that was a nothing fight for him, really.
Pretty much.
Yeah, there was nothing to gain for Bader.
I mean, that was the question for Mousasi, too. It was like, what, Bader and Mousasi are both fighting down just to have fights.
I mean, Ryan Bader is number 4, okay, in his division. Have him fight Gustafsson?
Okay.
I mean, you got Anthony Johnson, Rumble Johnson, Daniel Cormier, eventually, maybe. Gustafsson and Teixeira have already fought. Have him fight one of them. Oh, he already lost to Teixeira. Have him fight Gustafsson.
I'd be down for that fight. Fuck, have him step in against Johnson this weekend.
Yeah.
Why not?
Next week.
Next weekend.
Or something.
I don't know what's happening anymore.
Ultimate Fighter?
I missed it this week. You're going to have to help me out.
Uh,
We called it, though.
Yeah.
All
It's
right, fine.
Hiro and Tim Elliott. That's who you're going to have. That's going to be have. You have Hiromasa defeated Alexander Patoya, a unanimous decision of 2 rounds. So with his win, that means that Team Cejudo has no competitors in the finale. We locked him out. Tim Elliott defeated Eric Shelton after a majority decision after 2 rounds. Everyone kind of thought there was going to be a third, however, there was not. So your finale, which is weird, is going to be November 30th. Still part of the show to see who goes to fight Demetrius Johnson. So we got one more episode of the show who's going to be crowned the winner of the show.
So it's already done.
Yeah,
Then it's Tim Elliott.
possibly.
Based on emails that I've seen.
Yeah.
And I'm speculating, too.
Yeah,
I
totally
want to make that
speculating.
clear. But Tim Elliott wins next week.
Because this, I guess I didn't click in my head that the Ultimate Fighter actual finale, the winner of the show fighting Demetrius Johnson, is on free TV. It's on Fox Sports 1.
When?
December 3rd.
No shit. So it's like next weekend.
Yep.
Wow. All right.
So this week we will get to see
Tim Elliott win.
Tim Elliott versus Hero.
And then Tim Elliott versus Demetrius Johnson.
So as a Fox Sports 1 card, you're going to have Demetrius Johnson defending his belt against the Ultimate Fighter 24, 5, 6, whoever,
5.
wherever we're at.
5.
Tournament of Champions winner. You're also going to get Joseph Benavidez and Henry Cejudo fighting. Jake Ellenberger versus Jorge Masvidal. That's a pretty damn good card. Sarah McMahon against Alexis Davis.
Nice.
Gray Maynard, Ryan Hill. Yeah, I think it's going to be a great card overall, especially being on Fox Sports 1. My thing is, looking at this, not a single other fighter from the show is on this card.
That is weird.
But I wonder if that's because they didn't want to release who won through the tournament, who lost, and maybe in future cards they're going to get put on. Hopefully, some of these guys get signed.
I hope so too, man.
I gotta believe. I mean, you have to leave your organization where you're a champion to come compete in a tournament for the UFC
for 6 weeks.
For 6 weeks, and then it's like, oh yeah, you also don't get a contract.
Yeah.
Go back to your organization, take your belt with you.
No job for you.
1 year.
So yeah, we'll see what ends up happening. That again, you have a strong inkling that it's going to be Tim Elliott.
Yes.
Strong inkling.
I'm never right, so don't put money on it. But I'm throwing it out there.
Hey, we did have the Daniel Cormier rumor.
True.
We did.
True. So coming up is this weekend?
This is November 27th, which technically is Sunday, which would make it November 26th for us.
Is Whitaker versus Brunson?
This is going down in Australia.
Sweet. Forrest little brother throwing down.
Yeah.
Let's do the main card here, if you don't mind. Is that cool? Or do you want to
Yeah,
do
all on Fox Sports
It's all
1.
on Fox Sports 1. Sohee Ham is going up against Danielle Taylor. And then...
That's Hamderley.
Oh, there you go.
Remember?
Hamderley
Hamderley.
Silva.
Yep.
And then Tyson Pedro is going up against Khalil Roundtree.
Yeah, that's the guy who...
Yeah, Roundtree is the one that we expected a lot more.
I expected a lot more of him. He's the guy with the cool old school mustache that
Right.
kicked the guy into submission while he was on the ground. Like started throwing soccer kicks to the guy's ribs.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm hoping to see some more of that.
Some more Roundtree kicks.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And then Yusuke Kasuya going up against Alex Volkanovski. Volkanovski, yeah. Sorry, I ruined it.
Volkanovski.
I was on a fucking run.
Volkanovski.
Volkanovski. Kyle Noak, of course, because we're in Australia.
Still back. Thought he retired twice.
Yes. Only just fights in Australia. He's like Cote fighting in Canada.
Yep, gotta have him.
Going up against Omari Akhmedov. Then Jake Matthews takes on Andrew Holbrook. And Robert Whitaker going up against Derek Brunson.
Got Brunson.
You going Brunson?
Going Brunson.
With a name like Brunson, how can you say? I'll take Forrest, brother.
Going with Whitaker.
I'm going with Whitaker,
I'm going Brunson.
All right. And this is free tomorrow night?
I believe so, yeah.
It's Australia time, so it's in the
That's
future.
why I'm saying it's tomorrow, because it says Australia Sunday. So I'm
Right.
saying it's going to be America Saturday.
Yes. In the future, man. And that's pretty much it for this week. Of course, next week we're going to have a few things to go over because we have the one on December 3rd. We have
Yeah.
UFC 206.
We might have an interview.
We might have an interview. We might recap the end of The Ultimate Fighter and all that jazz. So big thanks for listening. Of course, check out our sponsors, strongboardbalance.com. Change the way you work out. Get on board, strongboardbalance.com. And their Instagram, strongboardbalance, where you can possibly score yourself one. Dennis is getting buff. Dodge is getting buff. I'm going to take one home and fall off of it.
Raiders. I can already say we're past 8 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're at least doing the playoffs.
We're in the playoffs.
In the
I
playoffs.
still don't know about the Super Bowl, but
But we're in the playoffs.
we're in the playoffs.
I'm sandwiched between two Raiders fan and I'm a Niners fan.
You're a 1 and Niner fan.
So you're right at home. So you're right at home.
Yeah, one fucking win.
Knock,
That's
knock. Hey, knock, knock.
That's what you are. You're a 1 and Niner fan.
Yeah.
1 and 9. Yes, thank you. Yeah. I didn't think that we'd get any wins this season, to be honest with you.
Hey, you guys beat the odds.
With
The odds were you guys were going to get zero fucking
zero.
wins.
No, we were going to be like battling the Browns for the bottom of the barrel bowl.
Oh, and you still are.
That was a lot of bees. That was kind of cool. Battling the Browns for the bottom of the barrel bowl. Boom! What? Also, check out mymmanews.com. It's our second home, your place for breaking news. Of course, they do it 24/7. We do it once a week. You can find us anywhere podcasts are broadcast. SplitDecisionMMA.com. SD_MMA for Twitter and Instagram. And, of course, on Facebook, Split Decision MMA Podcast. From the Ruloff Family Inc. Studios, it's Bueller and Dodge saying have a good night. We'll see you at the fights. In Diaz we trust.